Hello everybody, it's another episode of Cape Rugby TV, and of course, as you know, we bring you the very best of happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. A lot of action, only a few weeks left before the first fixtures kick off on the 1st of June. We'll talk about that a little bit later during the course of the show. Big thanks to our sponsors that have come on board with Cape Rugby TV. Score Energy Drinks, as you know, Score is on board with Western Province Club Rugby as well as with the Sevens. Don't forget, a little bit later in the year, we'll still see the Sevens tournament taking place. So Score Energy Drinks, not only on board with the Sevens, but also managed to sponsor a number of clubs in Western Province. Of course, Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road. Fantastic paint suppliers. They'll spec your premises and make sure you save a whole lot of money when you do your next paint job. And then, of course, Colour Tone has come on board with Cape Rugby TV. Colour Tone, your timber treatment specialist. And don't forget, savesasport.com will give you an opportunity to get your discounts online at a better rate using the Cape Rugby TV coupon code. Let me introduce you to my panel this evening. Lyndon Julius, nice to have you back.
Good evening, JP, and it's always good to be back on the Cape Rugby show.
I like your shirt.
Thank you, sir. Came in a little dove came to drop it by the other day, so I quite like it.
You know, that same dove came to drop mine.
Yeah,
as well.
just about a month or two earlier, but I think it's good. It's good, yeah.
No, well, mine's different.
Is it?
Yeah, mine's now the same as yours.
Is it? It looks the
because
same.
I've got the little CTV logo and the Western Province logo there, and the Score Engineering. So now we both have the same shirt. Jerome Parvater, welcome back.
Yeah, JP, good to be back. Unfortunately, I'm waiting for DHL to deliver my Cape Rugby t-shirt, but don't I look smart in
You
this?
look fantastic. You look very handsome tonight. I'm sure that if it was Valentine's Day, your wife would be thrilled to see you in a Western Province jersey.
With his brand new watch.
I think, I would assume that Jerome actually has no clothes that doesn't have a Western Province.
I haven't seen in the probably the 12, 15 years that I've known Jerome Parvater I've never seen him in anything else in a province kit. So he's a very good ambassador for Western Province. I think.
Yeah, but the thing is, he only see me Monday to Fridays. He doesn't see me on the weekends. I don't go to church in this clothes.
Don't you?
Actually, don't go anywhere in this clothes.
That's because you've got nowhere else to go to. Your life is full of rugby. It's either club games or it's universities.
Or it's in the book-up visit to pick up videos from Labi. Or it's...
I don't actually know, Jerome, how you do it. You are so busy out there with the clubs. If you're not with the clubs, either with Kenya, or you're busy coaching the under-21s, or you're doing talent ID, or you're at a university helping, or you're busy with the development team at HPC. And the thing is, this isn't just the last few months. Ever since I've known you for the last 15 years, this is what you're doing all the time. I don't know how you do it.
I always tell my wife that's the reason why we're still married. Because I never at home.
You never at home. Yeah, that's also true. Right, folks, let's get straight into it. We managed to, as we have been for the last few weeks, we've been following some of the teams around that have been finding some games. So we've got some great lineups for you today. Hillcrest were up against Union Mill over the weekend. That was held at the Boland Stadium on Friday night. And then All Saints were up against St. George's, and that was played at Maltino in Grabo. So we've got great games there, Union Mill and Hillcrest, and All Saints and St. George's. And then we bring you some interviews with Emile Boyson, he's the Hillcrest captain, and Reggie Manuel, also from Hillcrest. Eddie Teron is back at Union Mill, and Gareth Jordan is the fitness coach. We'll be speaking to them. And then from All Saints, their captain and, of course, Jeremy Janssen, Captain Omar Vanguard, going to be chatting to us. Don't forget, Coach Kyle Bender also talking to us, and St. George's captain and Ibrahim Swartland, St. George's forward coach. All right, let's catch up with our first game then. It was Hillcrest up against Union Mill. Oh, welcome back, everybody. Oh, Jerome, taking a look at that. I must say, that was one of the nicest bit of running rugby I've seen in a long time.
You can see it's running rugby. If you see just at that final try there, the ref was a bit out of breath there.
Yeah.
So he couldn't keep up. But yeah, no, definitely good running rugby. I wonder who's that number 7. He's a big boy. So some great pace there.
But you want to, I mean, that's what you want to do, right? You want to hit the ball at pace. I mean, every time that we saw Hillcrest there, and I mean, for that matter, Union Mill, the guys were hitting the ball at speed. They knew where the ball was going to be. Obviously, the guy was offloading, was loading it into space where he knew his runner would be. And then the guy would just accelerate even more.
Yeah, the thing, as you say, is like that number 7 would guess through the hole, went down, before even 2 seconds. The 9 is there, ball in, out. Other guys follow through on pace. And that's exactly what you look to keep the momentum going. If a guy breaks a line, it must either be a try or come at pace, which they did, and they eventually went to score.
Lennon, not only running at pace, but also a lot of stepping there, running around your man, but with some serious gas. Quite a mix there of small guys and big guys, and both of them, big guys, small guys, all had huge speed. Yeah,
and it was also good. It's very good to see, like you said, the amount of the level of pace that they ran and the skill as well. I mean, that chip and chase that left winger, the ball, he could have easily just stopped and picked up the ball, but he kept going at pace, and then he virtually grabbed the ball off his shoelaces and he went to go and score. So there's really good spatial awareness. It's good to see at club level, and on a Friday night, under lights. Not many of our amateur or club rugby players are used to playing under lights, especially in the modern era.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that players, finding the space, hitting the gaps, hitting the gap at pace. And or the offload, always looking for the offload. So that's good to see. And it's not like the field was any hard, so they had to avoid falling because it was a good green grass. So it's good to see that.
We're definitely going to have a chat about the quality of that grass in a second, because it certainly looks pretty good. We managed to catch up now with Hillcrest captain Emil Boyson. And for those of you that are not sure of him, he was one of the Boland players who was selected for the Supersport Challenge team. Emil Boyson, captain of Hillcrest.
Ik het ooit geweten in die begin van die week. Toe wat Boland ons laat weet dat hulle gaan nie teen Union Mill speel nie. Ons gaan die game kry. Het ons geweet dit gaan 'n fisiese game wees. Daar's twee van ons ouens wat Barbie hulle gaan aansluit het. Wat nou so die afgelope tyd saam met ons geoefen het ook. Wat gesê het nee, maar hulle doen hulle crossfitting. En met die velde het ons ouens 'n bietjie afgedwaal. Ons weet dit gaan 'n fisiese game vir ons wees. Ja, dat is wat jullie doen gewoonlik. Dat is niet wat ons moet doen nie, maar dat is wat ons gewoonlik doen. Om betekens kyk ons wat 'n ander span doen en dan wil ons studie wil ons die game net kom beter doen. Maar as ons van die begin speel het, dan dink ek dan sal dit 'n heel different game gewees het. Ons soos ek gesê het, ons boys het 'n bietjie afgedwaal. As ons net weer dieselfde soos Union Mill wat hier vir dit het ons ook hier vir ons oefen op die pad wat 'n bietjie moeilik is. Dit was vir ons nou weer vanaand weer ook 'n voorreg om op 'n veld soos dit te speel. Net vir Boland dankie sê daarvoor en vir Union Mill vir die game wat ons gekry het, want die afgelope tyd het die games wat ons reël het nie afgekom nie. Dit is 'n bietjie die ouens op down gesit en was weer lekker geweest om 'n game te hê vanaand. Ja, die jong spelers kom nou deur. Ons het in die begin het ons 'n bietjie gesukkel, ou spelers wat daar is. Ou spelers het 'n bietjie afgedwaal, jongelinge deurgekom en hulle het hulle goed gekwyt van hulle taak om voete om die ou players op boots vol te staan. Ek dink as ons nou voort gaan bou, gaan Hillcrest 'n groot naam word in die Boland.
Emil Boyson, captain of Hillcrest. Hy praat hom lekker, Lennon.
Ja, het lijkt man met een paar media-interviews gehad in de Supersport Challenge.
Ja.
Je kan zien dat hij definitief goede leier is voor Hillcrest. And it's also good to see that players like that, like we spoke last week or the week before, that you have players that in the community whereby the youngsters will not want to go and play outside of their town. So you want to stay there. Je wil je rugby spelers wil je daar houden en je wil laten spelen.
Certainly looks like a community man. The Hillcrest certainly looks like a community team. Jerome, just taking a look at the field, very nice field there at the moment at the Wellington Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, Boland's always been fortunate there with the field because of the water that they have. They sort of have free water. there's a fountain. The fountain actually runs underneath the stadium, and the street where the stadium is called Fontaine Street. So yeah, so they blessed with water. That's why that field is green, and also their B field is quite good.
Yeah. All right, folks. Let's catch up now with Hillcrest coach Reggie Manuel.
Wel, ons het geweet Milnerton gaan hard wees. Ons het baie lanklaas, of ek sê kom ons kry baie min sulke tipe games met sulke intensiteit. Ons weet as 'n powerhouse, ons is amateurklub van die Wellington uit die Hillcrest gemeenskap uit en ek het geweet ek gaan 'n goeie toets wees vir die opbou vir die liga vir die jaar. Ja, kyk ons opbou was vir die vriendskaplike games af topspanne gewees in die Boland en nou vandag met die Unimil. Definitief was 'n moraal boost vir die players om so 'n kind terugkom in 'n game en so kom ons sê in ons liga aan. Net ek mense onderskat nie, maar dit is net as ek sê 'n morale boost dat ons kan kompeteer met groot topspanne. Ja, definitief. Enige uniese veld gee 'n ander atmosfeer. As ek sê met die droogte so gekneelde dit nou is dit is ons het op die pad geoefen soos die kaptein nog gesê het en vandag kom ons terug. Die sosiaals Unie het my gesê hulle sien uit na die game op die veld en is net great om weer rugby te kan speel.
We managed to speak to Eddie Teron, the captain at the Union side.
Yeah, look, it's our third game this season. It's difficult, but knowing that we're going to come play here and how green the grass is, it's definitely something to look forward to. And the guys did look forward to it, and they played well. No, I think they're a good team. We obviously don't really know them, but a few guys are from Wellington and Paul, and they said that you can't take them lightly, and we didn't, and they played right till the end, so it was good. Now, look, it's difficult. We've been doing some fitness, and we've been going to CrossFit, but rugby fit is a whole different thing. So when the body takes a hit and you got to get up and down, you got to get used to that. And when you haven't been playing games, you haven't been on the field, it's difficult to get used to it. But hopefully we can get on the field now, and then we can put in some hard work. Yeah, definitely. I know at some point, the end of the month, Western Province will decide if the league's going to go ahead. We hope obviously it does, because hard work's been put in, even though we haven't been getting on the field. So hopefully the field becomes available and we can have a month before the season starts. Yeah, look, it's very difficult, but I think the management and the coaches has really thought off their feet, and they had to make adaptations. Go to CrossFit, go to the beach. We train in the parking lot. So you got to just think about it, and the guys that really want to be there, they'll make the effort. It doesn't matter where you train or what you do. Rugby is just in your blood, and if you want to be there, you'll come. It doesn't matter where you train.
Rugby is just in your blood. Well, I think that's what that's the kind of attitude you're looking for, Leonard.
Yeah, I think definitely that's something that, like Eddie was saying there, coaches and administrators alike are all finding it very challenging in this time with the water crisis. But if rugby is in your blood, you'll find an open parking space, you'll find that open piece of field that is not under the jurisdiction of the city of Cape Town, and then you will train and you'll run and you'll do your drills there. Just keep going, and then hopefully the club rugby season opens up pretty soon for these clubs.
Yeah. Folks, we're going to take an ad break in a sec, but remember, during the show, you can still win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks. 33090 is the number that you need to text to. When we come back after the break, Union Mill fitness coach Gareth Jordan talks to us a little bit about the preparation and the activities that Union Mill is doing at the moment to make sure that their players stay active. Welcome back, everybody. You're watching Cape Rugby TV, and as you know, we talk about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby every Wednesday night. Now, Union Mill have been one of the teams that have been very active so far during 2018, even during the water crisis, and have found different solutions to play and different solutions to keep their players active during the course of the season. And a lot of the clubs, in fact, have been doing parking lot training and so forth, and various other activity. And as you know, the challenge to keep the guys' minds active and make sure the players come into the club has been one of the biggest challenges. We managed to speak to Union Mill fitness coach Gareth Jordan.
No, it was great. It was a great night out. I think first and foremost we must thank Boland for allowing us to play on this magnificent field. Actually, I think our boys showed that when they start the game they were a little bit over enthusiastic, and I think that's possibly not having played on such a beautiful pitch for so long. but a very good night out. All credit to Hillcrest and the way they came back at the end of the game. I thought they played some fantastic running rugby, and I think the season bodes very well for them. I think it does have an impact, but I don't think it's an excuse. I think the boys have played enough rugby to know what they need to do and when they need to do it. I think Hillcrest were quite clever the way they isolated some of our forwards on the edges of the field, and they came back into play quite nicely, and that's where I think they found most of their space. But I think Eddie touched on it. I think match fitness is you can't buy it. It's massively underrated, I think. And I think with a lot of the changes we made, bringing new combinations onto the field, I think boys got lost at times and got a bit isolated. Yeah, it is important to let the guys gel together as much as possible. We've been blessed with a few players coming in, so there's a lot of competition for places, and I think as coaches, it's probably our biggest job to let that competition flourish within a healthy training environment. We're ready. Yeah, we've retained a lot of our squad from last year, and as I said, we've been fortunate enough to add to it, and we've had some interest from some other players, which is a great testament to the club and what the club stands for and how well run and managed it is off the field. But yeah, we'll definitely be ready.
Right, welcome back everybody. As I mentioned earlier on, you can win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. If you want to win yourself the whole case, then all you need to do is SMS the word SCORE to 33090. 33090. Put yourself in the mix to win a case of Score. Just SMS the word SCORE to 33090. Congratulations to last week's winner, Charlene Conradi. Charlene walks away with a case of Score energy drink. Somebody from Cape Rugby TV will be in touch with you shortly, Charlene, and you'll be taking home your case of Score. Right, folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, it'll be a time for us to take a look at what happened also in St. George's, and we've got a couple of coaches and captains interviews coming up for you as well. Back in a sec. Welcome back, folks. As you know, during the course of 2018, it's been a very, very tough season for the clubs in the Cape Town area with the lack of rain, of course, water crisis all across the Western Cape, real water struggling. And many of the games have been cancelled. In fact, the entire season was put on a delay. But a lot of the clubs, for those of you that have just joined us, a lot of the clubs still managed to find different ways to go out and find their games and so forth. Two clubs from Western Province, All Saints and St. George's, also neighbours, went out to Grabo over the weekend, also finding a way to play a game. We managed to catch up with the game time there, first half and second half, and a couple of the coaches and captains after the game. Let's see the first half. Jerome, I'm not. I mean, I'm also again watching the game there. I'm seeing the same kind of running rugby as I saw with Unimal. We're seeing players offloading and the running player hitting the ball at pace. Am I seeing a rejuvenation of not just running rugby like rabbit running rugby, but actually running rugby, but finding the ball and getting through the gap?
Yeah, it's that, JP, and I must say the spatial awareness of the guys were quite good in this game and in the previous
But why?
game.
I mean, what's different?
So
because we didn't see this 3 or 4 years ago. There seems to be a whole different understanding, like you say, of spatial awareness.
Yeah. I mean, I think the coaches also see now a lot of teams have moved away. Even if you look at the Bulls,
Yeah.
that's total different to where the rugby is going to now.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that the coaches improvise and they sort of give the players the freedom to play and to do what they're good at. If I look at that 15, that's not the type of guy that you're going to tell, okay, now you're going to kick, now you're going to run into this guy. He's going to make up his own mind. He's going to see where the space is, and you can see he can do almost everything.
Is this the kind of stuff you guys will concentrate on at a Western Province Rugby coaching seminar? Because, as I say, I'm seeing, I know it's only a friendly game and I know these teams haven't played, but I'm seeing balls are sticking, finding the gaps, unless we just chose the best moments in the game on the highlights package. But is this the kind of stuff you guys will work on in the coaching?
Yeah, definitely, JB, from what I do with the under-21s, because I told him, like, you're young, you're here to express yourself, you're going to get to Super Rugby where coaches is going to tell you a lot of things. So that is what I do with the youngsters, and they enjoy it. But I think at club level also, guys are enjoying it. You can see the trend of certain clubs who used to run into each other now. They all offload and run and play. So hopefully, I think the rain has maybe something to do with it. Everybody changed there.
Okay, Lyndon, let's bring you into the picture. The support runner is what I'm seeing here. The support runner seems to be in place most of the time.
I think players and clubs, and like Jerome mentioned, the coaches are also sort of creating a protect the ball kind of scenario and keeping the possession so that we can create more opportunities to be creative. So that you have players like Jean-Ray Lucas of All Saints, players like Cristiano Beckett and Dimitri Hendricks of St. George's, finding the space, hitting the gaps hard. Where you have flyers out wide, where guys like Bonnie Dumont can put players into space, and we know that if these players just create that little bit of space,
but it strikes me that the club rugby, that the player is obviously not just throwing the ball around, getting lucky. It's part of a plan.
Yeah, and I think that is exactly.
I mean, do you agree? I agree
with you.
Do you think the coaches are actually doing that type of training?
I think that training has finally reached the playing field. I think previously it has been implemented as a drill on the field, on the practice field at least, and I think it is showing now in the players on the field as well.
Yeah. I also think, JP, you were talking about a lot now about training in a parking garage and training in a park or training on a tar road or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we see this now, because their focus is a lot on skills, on offloads and passing.
Yeah, maybe there we go.
I think that is also one of the reasons why they do that.
Yeah, no, that explains it. Sometimes if you're forced to train in a box, you don't step too wide. You have to focus on. Right, let's take a look at the second half. All Saints and Georges. We'll tell you the final score after this. Welcome back, everybody. Right, All Saints St George's final score there. St George's taking it by just 3 points, 18 points to 15. Jerome, close game.
Yeah, see there like at the end there, but Lyndon said there wasn't a try. I would like to see the TMO decision on that. But very good game. And I must say, All Saints, they really put in the work and see some good lineouts and some good scrumming from them. So they're looking good for this time of the year. And I must say, what's it, number 15?
Jean-André Lucas.
No, he looks like
From All Saints.
He looks like a player that can play high
All
up.
Saints, Jean-André Lucas, yeah. I also noticed Cristiano, the centre there,
Beckett.
with the dreadlocks, who obviously is not hard to miss.
Yeah.
But I was looking in the first half. They're not afraid to put his body on the line. There was a loose pass that he literally scooped off the ground. So even though the guys are playing friendlies, they are still prepared to put their body on the line.
I spoke with both coaches yesterday and also Saturday evening, and the feeling that you get is that this match, or any match they go into, they're not going in very lightly. It's not a friendly match anymore, because they literally have to take what they get, and they tell the players every Thursday evening or Friday evening at the pre-match or team talk that we're going hard at this one. It's a friendly match, might not count towards league points or log points, but we're going to go hard at it. And incidentally, Cristiano Beckett is recovering he broke his ankle 2 years ago at a Sevens tournament. So the fact that he's running so fearlessly is a testament of his mental strength, and that's very good to see. Especially he's very young. He's only 24 years old, 25 years old. So I think he's still got a long.
Didn't see Armin Bailey on the
his wife Alicia was celebrating her birthday, so I think he might have had responsibility with their priorities. You know, the rugby season can go until December.
Celebrating her birth or celebrating her birthday?
I said birthday.
Same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but it's not a birth. It's not a birth.
Yeah. No, well, great stuff. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll catch up with some of the interviews with the captains and coaches. First up will be Omar Weingard. Back in a sec.
Ja, kyk, het was 'n lekker game geweest. Twee teams van die WP in, Super A, Super B. So kyk, ons het gekyk wat ons die beste kan doen. Rugby het geseëvier op die einde van die dag. Kyk ons boys, kyk ons oefen kliphard, soos ek altyd sê. Struktuur is in plek, oefen hard. En kyk, die boys het maar net hulle gelig vir die game. Soos dat kyk ons speel Super B die jaar, wat nou die jaar. Ja. Kyk ons gaan super goed vir in Super League B. Kyk ons oefen hard, ons manne gehou, ons het 1 of 2 manne bygekry. Struktuur is in plek. So ja, ons behoort goed te doen. Ja, kyk ons het diepte, ons het op Genade, dat het ons jong manne probeer. Vandag het ons gevestigde ouens met die jong manne wat opkom. Soos ons 'n lekker mix van jeug en die ou manne wat lekker saam speel. Ja, nogals kyk as 1 week aan, 1 week af, so is 'n bietjie moeilik, maar ons coaches en bestuurslede doen die beste vir ons wat ons kan doen, wat hulle kan doen, kry matches vir ons. Kom nie altyd af nie, maar hulle probeer hulle beste.
Omar Weingard, captain at All Saints. Of course, the players making the very best of rather difficult situation there, but nevertheless finding the solutions. Omar Weingard, of course, now picking up on the fact that the All Saints guys, St George's guys, they're making this a regular thing.
Yeah, it definitely looks like they're finding, picking the games and knowing exactly how to test. Like you were saying, testing their combinations and different combinations, and it's a good. Obviously, your friendlies you use to get your match fitness up and test your different combinations. It's usually condensed, but now we are feeling that the friendlies or the preseason is sort of dragging along. So I think that for your friendlies, you might want to select them carefully. And I think a match like a derby match like St George's All Saints, 2 of the top teams in the Alderburg region, I think it's a very good testament to see a score that close.
Have they played them each other already in the season?
Yeah, in the way I've played a few friendly. This is the 3rd friendly that St George's and All Saints are playing.
So this is starting to turn into like a bit of a match-up derby scenario. All Saints and George's playing.
Yeah, and a few years back, All Saints or 3 years back, they were still in the regional competitions, and before that they were nowhere on the map, and just like somehow that the players just clicked. It's again the case of players from the community in Garden Village in Somerset West, players from Silver Tuss and Helderzicht, just coming in and just forming sort of a core group, 2nd and 3rd team and 1st team, and then just making the most of what they've got. And that's why All Saints have always been a Super League C team, before they got promoted, just missing out on the promotion. And then last year they just flourished and just won or ended second in the league behind Vineyards to get promotion to Super B. And I think that is once again, it's a true testament of what community rugby is, because none of the players are being paid. They're all with walking distance from the club. The field is right there, and they're all playing they all grew up in All Saints, which is good.
We managed to speak to Jeremy Jansen. We've spoken to him before as well. He's the coach at All Saints.
Ja, nee, dat was een baie lekker game, vooral voor onze youngsters. Wat ons nou probeer in onze laatste wedstrijd. Hulle lekker deurgekom. Ik denk was een team effort voor ons geweest. Elke ou hand opgesteek. So ja, die effort was daar. Kijk, het was baie energie geweest van ons boys af. St. George's is een Super League A team. Je kan er zien in de kwaliteit van alle turnover balls. De mistake wat ons gemaakt heeft, hulle uitgebuit onmiddellijk. Maar ons kon niet mistakes uitbuit wat hulle gemaakt hebben. Maar ik denk playing wise was een 50-50 game. Onze ball control was beter, was baie beter op defense. Was goed gescramble. So ja, ik sliep positief op die pad vorentoe. Ja, definitief was heel achter Zander en Lucas. Hij was verleden jaar in het begin van het jaar bij ons. Hij is Hillcrest aan de 20 gespeeld, hij is nog weer terug. So hij in my oë het hom gevestig op 15. En dan is 'n jong man wat verlede jaar vir ons aan de 20 fly-off gespeel het. Hy het about 2 games vir ons first team gespeel. Goeie vertoning van hom ook. 2017 het ons gemeet, het ons self gemeet vir die Super League C aan ons wedstryd wat ons gespeel het teen St. George's. Ek dink vandag was weer 'n goeie maatskap vir ons. So ons kan net bou hierop, want dit is baie positief wat uit die game te kom met considering dat St. George's liga kampioen was in 2017 in Super Liga B. So as ons meet aan wat vandag se vertoning, vir 'n span wat die top fit is en 'n klomp ander goedjies wat hom aanweer, dink ek kan ons baie goed doen in die league.
Jeremy Jansen there, they certainly look like they're trying to take things to the next level. Jerome, how difficult is it to take it to the next level? If you've played a rugby match, you're not practicing rugby, you have to play in the parking lot, and you spoke about this earlier on about how the skills is improving, but people say that they're going to go back to the drawing board and then you watch the game, maybe the game that you've just played on video, but then you can't get to the grass to practice what you've just seen in the video analysis.
Yeah, but maybe JP, I think that people also neglect it's how important the video sessions is, and people are talking about the drawing board, but maybe they use that more now.
Yeah.
Because they can't do a lot on the field, so they're a lot off the field, so they can do their video work. You don't need a field for that. You don't need a field to have a drawing board, because you hear people talk about the drawing board, but it looks like a lot of teams actually do the drawing board now. And one good thing is that I hear, like this captain and the previous captain, they're all so thankful of what the coaches are doing in the management in the club to get them games, which is good. So they appreciate everything which the clubs are doing.
Yeah, no, I think we're seeing an incredible group effort from everybody. St. George's captain Kyle Bender caught up with us after the game.
Yeah, it's been months that we've been here. I thought today's game was good. Fitness a bit on my team, not up to scratch, but I think we'll work on it. Yeah, I won't say we're looking quite well. Still a lot of work that we have to do. Derby, it remains a derby. It's always tough playing against a Heidelberg team. Every team has the bragging rights, and I think today we wanted it more than them. Played more tactical, more kicking the balls than them. So yeah, I'm glad we pulled it through, my boys. Yeah, there's a big impact for all day by our pitch. We're not allowed on our pitches, so we have to train on a small piece of land that's at the back of the field, which is very tough because there's no lights. So we need to call our practices early, because after 7:30 it's dark, so you can't see anything. That's why this week's preparation was very tough, but hopefully whether the water restrictions getting better or I'm not sure, but yeah, hope it's better. No, yeah, sure. That's where the water restriction comes in again. A lot of guys hearing that the league has been pushed back, working hard in the gym and not coming to practice fields. That's why we can't display very well our structure, because key players don't come to practice. But it's part of life. I think it goes like that at every club. So we have to take it on the chin and move forward.
Welcome back, folks. Carl Bender there. Lyndon, Carl's been around for quite a while.
Yeah, he's been playing in the first team for the last 2 or 3 seasons. Obviously learning from the guys like Manny Williams and Clive Meyer, the guys that have been around in the St. George's setup. So it's quite good to see that the youngsters are given the captain's armband. But it's good to hear that the club or that the coaches and the players are sort of grouping together, like Jerome was saying. They're sort of merging towards each other now in an effort to secure games and make the most of a fixture like that. It was also very heartwarming to see the spectators along the side of the field, coming up in the droves, driving to Grabo, not very far from Somerset Western Strand, but yet the buses were plentiful in Grabo to support their team.
Right, Ibrahim Swartland, at least, he's the coach of the forwards at St. George's. St. George's has got lots of coaches, forwards coaches, backline coaches, conditioning coaches. Very sophisticated team, St. George's. We'll speak now to the forwards coach, Ibrahim Swartland.
Ja, dat is baie tyd gewees. Jy weet, binne derby in All Saints, St. George's, die manne praat, die hele week gepraat oor hierdie game. En die game wat ons vandag gesien het ons van verwag. Kliphard, die manne het gekom vir ons en ek dink ons manne was op die einde van die dag 'n klein bietjie beter. Maar baie presies, ons moet nog Tjalbo toe gaan en baie groot step up maak vir die game en vir die jaar wat ons nog voor lê. Ja, en kyk, die waterbeperking het 'n groot invloed op die spel, ewen op die velde ook. En sien dat nou die league aan mekaar uitgestel word, was dit ook 'n groot terugslag vir ons. Maar ons steek nog ons hande op vir die manne wat veld toe kom, die manne wat nog committed is aan die span en aan die klub. En ek dink ons het 'n probleem met die opkomste van spelers oefeninge toe nie. En die manne is committed vir die jaar, hulle kyk uit na die jaar, almal dink uit, dis nog 'n June maand en wanneer gaan die league begin? So die ouens is vol moed vir wanneer die league moet begin. Ek dink van die spelers by ons wat ek kan ons aan op die spelers is committed aan die klub. En daar is spelers wat sê nader aan sekere provinsies, sekere plekke soos Makassar, All Saints, wat verkies om daar te gaan speel, weens vervoer en sulke goed. Maar die spelers wat ons het, wat ek weer kan sê van St. George's manne, ons is ons 'n community club. Ons stiek by ons players en ons is dankbaar vir die players wat nog bly by die klub en wat ons naam hoog hou vir die jaar wat voor ons voor lê.
Welcome back, folks. Right, Ibrahim Swartland there. Lyndon, you're a St. George's guru. You guys got, as I said before the break, you got a lot of coaches. Yeah. Forwards coaches, backline coaches.
It works for UWC. UWC have won the Varsity Shield, and Jerome Powell is one of them. And there's about 5 of those coaches there. They've got good guys that are supporting Chester Williams. So I think that's the same thing that we're trying to adopt. You learn from the best. It works for them. So now we're trying to own it. I think what Ibrahim Swartland and the guys, Charlton Cluton, Mirwan Davids are doing. Once again, it's like any other club with the same challenges. No field to train on. We aren't even allowed to train on the netball pitches at Gastro, so not even the parking lot. So we've got to find alternative, the beach. We've got to secure the parkie, the local parkie. So there's really doing your jog through the community. That's really what it's about. So when we go out and we play, when the clubs do get the chance to play, I think the players give it their all. That's why you see matches like Hillcrest and Unimall and matches like St. George's and All Saints and very entertaining and very emphatic matches.
Right, folks, if you want to purchase any of your apparel from boots to jerseys and other athletics kit, then SaveSAsport.com is the site for you to go to, www.savesasport.com. You can get 20% off everything online, rugby boots, footwear and apparel. 20% off will be deducted off the order. Then remember, it's a free delivery in South Africa, anywhere in South Africa, for if you purchase anything above 750 Rand. So use the coupon code Cape Rugby TV, and you'll be able to get your Puma, Mizuno, Canterbury, and New Balance, Asics, as well as a few other brands, all online. So just use that coupon code at www.savesasport.com. Use the coupon code Cape Rugby TV. Get 20% discount on all your apparel and rugby boots. All right. So as you know, there were a couple of other rugby games over the weekend. Let's take a quick look at some of the results. Newtons, so Cullimore travelled to Newtons. They went down to Newtons, 21 points to 29. NTK went across to Westbank. They beat them there 43 points to 21. Good result for NTK. Saldanha went down to Durbell 45-19. And then Gold Stars in Grabo went down to our homeboys Morningstar 21 points to 7. All Saints went down to St. George's, as you saw, and Hillcrest beat, or at least went down to Union Mill, also as you saw. Jerome, a big result there for NTK playing against Westbank. Westbank's no slouch, and NTK have, they've had the work cut out for them lately, and they pull off a big one there, 43-21.
Yeah, it's. I must say, it's not a surprise for me if I see what they did last week when we watched that
the
SK game. And I said that, look, they've got something right there. They've got good depth. But the second team beat Atlantis by far. So, yeah, they're doing well. It's good to see that they're doing well. The
other result there, Saldanha. Linden Durbell coming out with a win there over Saldanha, 45 points to 19. Would you say that's a fair matchup? Saldanha is supposed to be a good outfit. I mean, one of the top outfits in Boerland.
Yeah, I think Saldanha is definitely one of the top teams in the Boerland League. They've also tasted a few league championships. They're also very tough to play at home in Saldanha. But I just think Durbell just had that better edge, playing in the national tournament, the Community Cup. They played a few top teams across the country, and I think Durbell just have that sort of edge over Saldanha, just that what is needed. I think 45-19 might not be a true reflection of the game. Might be two or three breakaway tries towards the end, but definitely Saldanha is not a team that you go out there and just beat that easily. So credit to Durbell.
All right, a couple of coaches courses coming up still, folks. Don't forget the level 115s and the level 17s courses are coming up at Western Province. You must get your details in there. On the 25th of May, we'll see the World Rugby Sevens course coach, the level 1 course coaching course, and of course a little bit later in the year there's the 7 courses. But I think the one that you've got to aim for now, you can contact Labib Levy at labib@wprugby.co.za to get your name in the mix for the World Rugby Sevens coaching course, which happens on the 25th of May. Closing date is on the 18th of May, so it's not that far. Well, it's about a month. You've got to get your details in. And then other coaching courses coming up. Of course, the 20th of April. That's when is that? Is that this Saturday? Friday? So if your name's not in there, I think you might struggle to get in there, but it's still worth a shot. Again, email labib@wprugby.co.za. This is, of course, for the level 1 and 2 World Rugby coaching courses. Next course coming up after that is 18th of May. Course is only 250 Rand. All right, folks, Super Rugby coming up over the weekend. We'll be looking forward to the Stormers being back in action. Of course, their result will be interesting as they take on the Sharks. They're playing away at least. Let's look at some of the Super Rugby results from the weekend. Hurricanes beating the Chiefs 25 points to 13. The Sunwolves went down to the Blues 24-10. Rebels went down to the Jaguars 25-22. And the Highlanders were the winner of the Brumbies. The Waratahs beat the Reds 37-16. And then, of course, the Bulls were a massive win over the Sharks. That really took me a bit by surprise. Certainly messed up my Super Brew scores, Jerome. But what is it that the Bulls are doing? Or is it what is the Sharks? Are they doing something wrong? Or? I didn't expect that result.
Yeah, I think on their away leg to Australia and New Zealand, the Sharks had a good run. And tough games there. And to fly back and to play the Bulls coming off a break. It was always going to be tough and difficult. I think they still had a bit of jet lag, but the Bulls are doing something right. JP, as I said earlier on, is it's not you don't see the normal Bulls trying to run over you. They run into space, they offload, they kick at the right time. So it's not I
just hate it when a team like the Bulls start playing intelligent rugby. Like all these years, I just thought, now they're playing intelligent rugby. It makes it so much more harder to beat this team. We can beat them if they just don't play intelligent.
But I think if you look at the coaching staff, past John Mitchell, half of the coaching staff is province boys. I mean, there's guys that have been playing running rugby, and you find the guys of the likes of Gafoor Lukan, Aiden Groepies. There's a few guys that is in that structure behind the team that hey guys, you play the province. experience, so.
Well, I think, if you take the Western Province coaching staff and you send them to the Bulls, and you take most of the players from the Boerlands and you send them to the Bulls, well, you could end up with a pretty good outfit.
Of everyone, there's probably not from Pretoria even.
We've got a couple of Boerland and ex-province players playing at the Bulls now.
Definitely. Yeah, there's quite a few of them that are playing. I mean, Warwick Galan is from SVD.
Yeah.
So he's there.
And what a star performer he is.
Andre Pollard, the general. He's from Somerset West.
Yeah.
So I think there's a few of them that are from
Johnny
Pretoria.
Johnny
Kotze.
Guys.
Ambrose Papier is
Papier from Darling.
He's
from
a
Darling.
quick guy.
Neil Papier's family.
No,
So
well,
I think there's,
but it's good if we can help them.
No, we must always help where we can. It's part of the development plan. So
to give the Super Rugby trophy to someone else. That's part of the development plan. Okay,
so
cool.
no, it's very good. I mean, we see great running rugby then.
Yeah.
And
it's a blue jersey. It's a blue jersey.
So there's commonality there.
Yeah,
Rugby's rugby. But of course, there's a big alliance between the Bulls Rugby Union and the Boerland Rugby Union, similar to I think SV Deer and Western Province Rugby. So there are these kind of channels where the guys are feeding, and I think it's a great opportunity for some players because not every door is open to you. So fantastic stuff if there's another union, creating opportunity for the players. But of course, I think that the big game for us this weekend is going to be the Stormers up against the Sharks. Lyndon, do you think we can take them?
I think definitely we can take them. I think the Sharks, before the weekend, in fact, before the Bulls game, I said that the Sharks are sort of like have a pseudo confidence about them. If you look at the game against the Hurricanes, they might have nearly won that game, but they definitely they made too many mistakes. They leaked too many tackles, like with the Hurricanes as well, which is unlike them. So I think against the Bulls they were shocked. I think the Stormers coming off a break. I think the Stormers will take it by at least 7 to 10 points against the Sharks.
Yeah, Jerome, your feeling?
Yeah, I mean, we always had a good run in Durban. It's gonna be tough. The Bulls didn't do us a favor. I think if it was a close score, the Sharks would have maybe relaxed a bit, but it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. Hopefully nobody throws any players into the referee. Always,
Mr. Seconds.
Mr. Egan Seconds. I must say, Egan Seconds, old friend of ours. He's been on Cape Rugby a few times as well. He's doing great as a referee. And Egan, if you're watching now, thumbs up to you. Folks, don't forget you can join the Stormers Supporters Club, the Club Newlands, or at least the Newlands Faithful. Just go to the website there. It's a fantastic package. I think it's about R1,000. You get a free jersey and a whole lot of other benefits as part of the Newlands Faithful Supporters Club package. So you want to get into that mix right now. There's ticket value offerings and discounts on certain products, and as I say, you get a free jersey. There's some hampers there. In fact, for the value of R1,000 to get your loyalty card or your supporters card for the Newlands Faithful, you'll get R3,000 worth of value back if you add up all the value just by joining the Newlands Faithful. You can go to the website wprugby.com or the Stormers website and go and look there for the Newlands Faithful and go and sign up. All right, Lyndon Julius, thank you very much. I believe you'll be standing in for me next week.
I believe so too. So thanks for the opportunity. Our opportunity, I guess.
Looking forward to it.
I don't know.
Having
me
fun.
too.
Yeah. And Jerome, you'll be back next week?
Yeah, I'll test London a bit next week.
Yep.
I'll be back.
Some running lines. We'll pack out some cones here. We'll change up the studio, but we'll pack out some cones here and see if I can run this. If I've got spatial awareness in the studio.
Well, we're not far away now from having real spatial awareness. We're about 5 weeks away, 6 weeks away from the kickoff of our first games. I know the fields are still dusty out there, but there are a number of fields that are playable, and who knows, if the rain comes down, we might have 1 or 2 more fields that you can add on to that park. But certainly on the 1st of June, the first games will be starting. We're very excited about that. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. A fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.